Coach, they love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Set up, 8, read.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. Right off the bat, a chunk play into enemy territory.
And I don't care how you plan for it. I don't care what you see on tape where you think you can get that type of a play. That's still a great rush and a little bit of a surprise to break off a run like that this early in the game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And now it's second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
60 or 54 Mike. Hey, me and you all day. I'll get it.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
On play action, they'll throw. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, exit. 54. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Check the outs. Check the outs. Check the outs. Right there.
Smooth.
Yeah, right there. 54. Mike.
Now.
Second and 10. This is caught. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll give it to Chubb. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set. 15 line. 15 line.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 29-yard line.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Let's put that team on the front. 5.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too play.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A huge play there for Denver. 45 yards.
First down, Broncos.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber.
They'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. He'll look to throw here. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. On the ground, it's Chubb. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Ready! 60 on.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Here's 2nd and 8. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 79 yards. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. That one complete to Elliott. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
First down, Denver.
You ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight?
They'll run the out. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And that one coming on his opening carry of the season. Do you give him a mulligan?
You would like to, but this game counts. If this were preseason, he'd get a mulligan. But this is for real, so not expecting that at all. Got to find a way to take care of it. I'm sure he'll get other opportunities.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Tyler Lockett, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as the Ravens push further out in front. Extra point try now for Succop. It's good to make it 17-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
First down, Broncos.
Ready up. 2, Mike. 2. I'm coming for you, Mike.
Back to throw now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And the Broncos first down.
Here we go. 50 plant.
It's our time. It's our time.
Snap.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Out of the gun now on third down. And it's caught by Parker. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 11-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
At the Ravens' 4-yard line.
One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal.
We got right. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
2nd and 4. Rolling to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll set up to throw. Caught Eifert over the middle. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. It's complete to Parker, left side. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 41-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Smith catches left side, and down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Four receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7. Here's the 2nd and 7. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 36.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down carry by Elliott. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They go to Elliott again. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up third down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll set up a throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. as his guys are in for 6, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
On the ready.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
And again, it's Chubb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They run. Chubb. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 39-yard line.
Ready.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make the go.
First carry for James Conner. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Looking to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. They'll look to throw here on first down. On the left side, this is Stills. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
That's the way.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 yards there, first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run with Chubb. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelm, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Flushed, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Donald with a sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
They're running it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
But it brings up 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. The open man is Smith. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. What an opening weekend it's been already. Could the best finish be coming here on Sunday night? We'll find out as we come up on a 1st and 10. Elliott running right. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Ten too soft.
Hey. You got three. Three down. Mike two. 65.
2nd and 14. Twisting away. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 26 yards. And the Broncos have once again taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. Bust through the tackle. They find some open field here. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
50, plant. Check, walk 54, walk 54. I'm on. Ready.
Now Chubb. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They run it again with Chubb, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Let's get in there, Howard. You go tight. You got Topper.
From the gun, it's Drake. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Still's the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Just like that. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Get it.
He's back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively. This defense making some plays right now, aren't they?
And they look like a group that really locked in before this series started. Read their scouting reports, got back to reading their keys, and playing with excellent leverage up front.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he finds Stills, complete. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Chubb. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Coming this way. Here we go. Now.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Check nine. Blue draw, Parker.
Chubb on the counter, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
On the double.
They'll come out in the pistol. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
We own them. Recon, 132 fighter.
Following the penalty, Chubb uses the stiff arm. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory.
15-line. 15-line. Get it.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 16-yard line.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Baltimore, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to